like open age women's soccer. So that was like, I was playing with women at the age of 16. So it was kind of a big jump from playing with players your own age group and then going to play against like women who were like 25, they could be 30. There's a big range in open age women's soccer for in England for women's. So it was a big jump.
And how is the ranking of academies in? I may not be so well versed about. I know in the men's side they have kind of rankings of academies. So you have, the ones that are the elite academies. Then you have a level below that and a level below that. I think. I don't know how it all is, but is it the same for women? Or could you just enlighten us on how it is in general for youth football in the UK?
Yeah, youth football in the UK, there's a lot of opportunities. There is a lot of academies, and there's new academies now. So there's obviously the teams where, so your Everton, your Liverpool's, like they've got like the younger and your academies that go down. So people are playing for them since we're like 10. But there's new academies that are coming up as well. So there's like places for development, which aren't just within, the big teams. But that my club was linked to York City, which was my local team at the time. So we did really well because I'm from York and it's up north in England and it's quite small. So the opportunities, it's hard when you've got to travel and you've got to rely on your parents. So it was good to be able to play for a team which was so close. It was only 20 minutes away from my house and play at a good level and get good coaching. And for them years, I feel like I really did develop playing at the high level possible, which was for me at the time, that was a high level possible.
Yeah. So how do you, I'm trying to see how, let's say you, I don't imagine that you just start a team, an academy team in the UK, and then you immediately start to play against like the likes of Everton or Liverpool. How do they rank academies, or are there different divisions of teams? How does it work?
It's a good question. So I remember there was like a tier 1 and a tier 2, I think it was called, of the like kind of academy bases that we play against. And we was in like the tier 1, but it's always split up into, your north and south, east and west. So it was always regional. So we only played the same teams every year. So we got to play against Everton. We got to play against Man United. That was really good. We actually drew with Man United and they were really good. So that was good. And also I'm a Leeds United fan, so Man United, it was good to draw against them. But yeah, we got the opportunity every now and then to play against teams which were from down south, so like the likes of them guys. But it was mainly our local teams that we got to play against academy-wise, and we was good compared to them. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. So how was that environment for you? Let's say going from 11 to 16, were you just continuously playing 3 times per week? What was your schedule like? How was it?
Yeah, so at the time I was at school. So I was at school 5 days a week. I would, after school, it was hard, it was tough, but I knew that you have to put a lot of dedication into something to get something good out of it, to get a good outcome. So I'd finish school at about 3:30 on an evening, and then I'd go home. I'd have to eat, and then I'd have to go to training from like 5 till 7. So like as a young kid, like I was from 11 till 16. That was my prime time at school. So I was working a lot in school. There was a lot of on education. We did a lot of things like this, like masterclasses, but obviously with COVID, it was more in person and stuff like that. So. It was tough. There was a lot on you at a young age, but it was very helpful, and it got you to learn about discipline at a young age, it was very good. And they taught us about, like the mental side of things, the physical side of things, nutritionally, what you'll benefit from, like the whole thing within football. It was a good stepping stone to actually see where I wanted to go to, because there was people that played for our teams who went on to play at a higher level. Like I played for a girl called Jess Park, and she's playing for Man City Women's now. There's good talents. It was good.
Wow. It's really interesting that at a young age you get to experience all of those things. I imagine many people don't get to. And I imagine a lot of people also drop out, or maybe they see that it's too much, you know.
Yeah.
What do you think made you different from what made you stay in it, as opposed to some of the people who just said, okay, let me go and do something else?
Yeah. It's very natural to have the thoughts of maybe, you know, everyone, like from like my level to top athletes to people below, like you always have thoughts that maybe you're not good enough, maybe, oh, this isn't what I thought, this is, you know, you live in your mind all the time, so you can be ticking over. But I think it was just the fact that I knew that football for me, soccer was a thing that I was passionate about, and my parents, I grew up with them saying like, do what you enjoy, and then success will come, like things will follow. So I just stuck to that, really. I stuck to that, you know, that I wanted to just do what I enjoyed, really. And I knew that it's hard to, maybe people would say like, how are you going to get a job within soccer, do you know, everything like that. So there's always people that are going to have negative opinions, but you've just got to know yourself that if this is something that you enjoy, then you need to stick at it and you need to work hard. And I think that's what got me through, is that I really did enjoy it. Three to four times a week, and I was loving it. Even though it was tiring, it was really good. Everything was positive. And I did have days where I thought, oh, it's getting hard here, but it was good. And then it's proved, because I went on to play for, you know, the open age women's, and that was another challenge in itself. And you have doubts along the way, but you've just got to stick at what you enjoy, and you're going to do well. That's my opinion.
Yeah. So after you finished, was that the 16 years of age? Was that the end of that academy, or is that where it stopped? And
Yes.
then happens ideally for players, do they go on to, is it like the men's where they go on now and get youth contracts, or how does it work?
Yeah, so it'll be similar to that. So it worked out that we did like maybe like a little showcase event at the end of the year, and coaches came to watch, and they just like basically said if they wanted you, or there was opportunities basically that the academy gave you opportunities so that you could, like, you know, display your talents as such. But I went on to just play for the local team, because personally it was best for me, because I was going to college in York, which is my local town, and I was working in York, and I had to find a balance of being able to work and earn some money whilst my education and playing football. So at the time, I probably could have played for a higher level than York City, but it was good for me at the time. But it led on to opportunities to play for Harrogate Town, who are in the division above, and then that's when I met John from Sports Recruiting USA. So, which is the agency which I went through.
Yeah. Is there a reason why you didn't leave and like you said, go to maybe somewhere that's maybe a bigger team or something like that?
Yeah, it was probably like my parents are separated and they work full time, so it's hard maybe getting the travel. The travel was a bit of a problem, and obviously I was working from the age of 16. I had 2 jobs, so I was working like 3 times a week, on 3 times on a night on one job, and then on a weekend on another. So my schedule was just like jam packed. So I kind of wish I did push myself, but it was just not maybe the right thing at the time, with, you know, resources and stuff, being able to get from place to place.
Yeah. You know, that's crazy to tell. In Kenya, we don't usually start working until you're 18, 19 years of age. So to hear somebody has 2 jobs at 16 years of age, it's quite crazy. At the same time you're playing football, and at the same time you're in school.
Yeah.
What kind of lessons did that particular part of your life teach you that maybe help you now?
Oh, definitely. I feel like one of my jobs, I worked in retail. So I worked at Polo Ralph Lauren. I worked there like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday night. And then I worked at a wedding company, and we planned weddings and we executed all the events and everything like that. And we did that on the weekend. So it taught me a lot, really. It taught me, like, you know, people skills, like there's people from all over backgrounds. Like it was helpful in the discipline as well. And I spoke about that one before, but being able to like plan your schedule and stick to it and work hard, and that, you know, you've got to work hard to get something out of it, because if I didn't, then I had to have money to, you know, pay for things, pay for wherever I was living, or this America. It helped towards this. So yeah, it was good. It just showed me that you've got to put a lot in life to get out, which was good from a young age. I liked working, I enjoyed it. So it was really fun.
So how did your week, in terms of your schedule, because I imagine you played games on the weekend as well, how did your schedule look like where you were able to work and play matches at the same time?
Yeah, so it was busy. When I was at college, I was college Monday to Friday. I would train at college twice a week, and I would train at Harrogate on a Wednesday. So Monday would look like going to college and then working from 5 till 9 on an evening. Tuesday would look like training in the morning for college, and then having my rest of the day at college. Then again, 5 till 9 in the evening. Wednesday we played matches for college. So we played games. So that would be a full day of playing games. And then Wednesday night I'd have off work and I'd go to my football training for Harrogate Town. Thursday was the same as Monday and Tuesday. So we'd train in the morning, go to college and then work. Friday we'd go to college. I'd go to college, and then on an evening I'd have a night off. So that was really nice. And then Saturday I'd work all day. And then Sunday was another game day. So it was busy, but I wouldn't have had it any other way. It was really good. I liked it.
Wow. Can I ask, I imagine, okay, I don't know how the UK is, but like 17, 18 or 16, 17, 18, aren't you supposed to have some kind of social life? And how did that affect your social life?
I felt like I did have a social life. So Fridays was a big day for me to go and see my friends. You know, a lot of my friends were within college. So I was seeing them every day. I was in college with my whole class was like a football group. So it was men's and women's soccer. So we'd have fun all day, every day in college. And then at work, I had my work friends there. But yeah, Friday was a day that I'd make time for like my family and friends. And it was like a good balance because football was fun for me. So it was kind of worth it. It was all worth it really in the end. It was good.
So you did that for basically from 16 to 18 years of age, or how long were you doing that for? So
I was doing that from 16 till I left Ralph Lauren when I was 19. So it's 3 years. I had 2 jobs side by side. But within like about a year and a half, I just decided to, maybe take on one. I started working more full time at the wedding place. So that's when I started going about up in the ranks and started to focus on that a bit more. But that was good.
Okay. And at that time, were you thinking, I want to be a professional football player? This is the journey this is where I'm going. And how did that manifest now in your life?
Yeah. So it's crazy actually. I kind of thought of every job in the that I would have maybe wanted to do. So I looked into everything. It wasn't just football at the time because I was thinking, if I look into everything, then I know for myself. So I was looking into being a nurse. I was looking at to be a paramedic. And it was just one day I was going to work and I'd signed up. Well, I tried to get into university in England, and I just knew in myself. I just knew that it wasn't maybe the right thing for me to do. I just knew deep down that football was what I wanted to do. So it was just in that case, it was a case of believing myself, believing in my talent and what I could actually do with football. And then that's when I got in touch with John, and it all went from there. Really, it happened really fast. This was in December because I'd known about Sports Recruiting USA from 2018. So even in them years where I'd always had it in the back of my head, I was thinking of other things and just making sure it was the right thing for me to do. But for sure, this is the right thing to do. It's amazing. I just wish for everyone to experience this. It's really good.
It's good to hear that. So what options did you have on the table when you decided? I guess you finished your college, and then I guess you were thinking of, what next? Were there other teams you could have played for? What was happening that made you decide, okay, I'm going to go to America?
Yeah, so it's probably the fact that I was playing for Harrogate Town, and it was work again came involved with it, and I kind of got stuck into the realms of I was working every day, I was earning money, it was good, but then when I started to think about moving clubs and seeing if there was any bigger clubs that I could go to, it was like apparent to me that maybe in England at women's teams, you maybe only train like 2 or 3 times a week and you play your games. So, and I still wanted to extend on my education and I still wanted to do that. So the best thing for me to do was when John introduced America and stuff, when they train every day, we train every day and we play games on like twice a week. So like Monday to Friday, it's just, it's football. So I felt like for my development and for me to improve was to come to a place like this where, you know, the workload is hard. Like you're training every day where I could not get this back home. Like personally, like maybe men's academies, maybe they do like professionally when you're at the top tier, you do that, but it's hard. So like the stepping stone from being maybe 20 to like at your peak at like 24, it was really the development for me that I wanted to focus on for these 4 years and then hopefully go on to playing professionally. That's my aim.
Yeah, and I guess you also get an education in the process.
Yeah, for sure.
Why do women's teams only train 3 to 4 times a week in the UK? Is there a reason why?
No, so the top tiers, they play like Man City, Liverpool's, they probably play like every day. But it was the teams that I would have been going to, like Leeds United, they still train 2 or 3 times a week. It's just because of maybe, I guess it's money or I don't know, but that's just what they do. And I think a lot of the time when people are playing, maybe not at the top tier and they're in the middle where there's really talented footballers and maybe they're not earning enough, so they have to work as well. And it just makes it easier for them to be able to work and then train 3 times a week. So
yeah. Oh, I get you. So when you said when you eventually got introduced to Sports Recruiting USA and you were like, actually, America is an option for me, how did the process look like?
Wow. So the process looked like, so starting in 2018 when I joined Sports Recruiting USA, I got in touch with John and we started putting together like a highlight video for me. So that was to get sent to coaches. But there was showcase events, there was trial events. So we played like games like Nottingham Forest. We played a team in Oklahoma. They came from America all the way to England. So we played against them. And also we just played within each other. So there was matches set up and there was just always constant like contact within John. And it was, the biggest one was the showcase in December, which has just happened last Friday. So that's an event where there's loads of girls. There was 4 teams of 12 and we did like a little, like a little tournament, and there was about 50, I think there was maybe 50 coaches from America that came down last year to see, the talents on display. And that was when I got my offers. So I got my offers in December last year. And when they saw me in person, that's when I spoke to about 12 different coaches. And then it just went from there, really. It was...
Wow. So you must have really impressed them, because I mean, if they watched you and then they were like, okay, we have to offer her, you must have played well in the trial. How was the trial experience for you?
Yeah, the trial experience was good. Nervous, like any trial experience. It was hard because you've never played with these people before. For me, it was the girls. I've never played with them, so to go and try and like display your best talents, even though you've not played with these people, like it's hard to do. But you've just got to be a leader. You've got to be vocal. You've just got to use your strengths, really. And for the whole day, just be positive. And that's what really helped for me, was just going in there, just thinking I've got nothing to lose and just play the best. We all make mistakes, so mistakes happened. I know, like one of my friends, she's a really good player. The first thing she did as a defender, the ball rolled underneath her, but she still didn't let that affect her. So she still went on and got good offers. So it was really good.
What do you think made you stand out in that setting?
Yeah, I guess for me, I was a little bit older, so a lot of the girls there were like maybe 17, 18, but I went in being 20, and it was being 19, sorry. And I feel like for me, I'm quite vocal. I was captain at Harrogate Town, so like one of my biggest skills is being a leader. So when you're able to organise teams, and I think that is, everyone can play football there, everyone's got talent, so you've got to be able to show the leadership skills. and bringing players in, you know, like organising. It's hard to organise a team which you've never played before, like play with each. So that was probably a big thing for me, and just always working hard, just not stopping. I think that was probably two main things.
Oh, okay. And these offers, I mean, you said you had several offers from different colleges.
Yeah.
So they were giving you scholarship offers, basically.
Yeah. So on the day there was a couple which said, you know, the money offers, but the rest of them like started the process for me. So you start talking to people. So when I left the showcase that day, I had people's emails. I emailed them. They emailed me. And we kind of just started a conversation, you know, they introduced themselves, introduced the university, introduced like, it was important for me deciding a degree because that's predominantly what I came here for. So the education is so important. So I was looking at schools and seeing, you know, some schools maybe gave you a really good offer, but it wasn't the degree that you wanted. So you had to like maybe take a step back. But yeah, it was about a month of talking to coaches. We set up Zoom calls, we set up phone calls just to have a chat. And then it was kind of like making a pros and cons list and just deciding from there which one was the best fit for me, educationally and as a person as well.
Yeah. How did you decide on Embry Riddle?
It was hard. So it was between Embry Riddle and it was between Lenore Ryan in North Carolina. And I'd been in touch with Embry Riddle when I was 18, but it just, like with working and stuff, it just like kind of, I just didn't really do much with America at that point. I was focused on England, and it was just that it was such a good level. They just won the conference. The university is at one of the top universities for aeronautical science. As an insight, they train pilots here, so they're all flying planes. There's planes everywhere. But it was just speaking to the coaches for me and trying to get like a good relationship with them. Like I felt like they were being really honest with me, and that they would be able to, you know, I said that what level I wanted to play at, and they were happy to get me at that level. So it was a relationship thing, and obviously the money stuff helped because you can't pay for everything. So it was a mixture between like the offers that I got, the coaches. My coaches are amazing, and it was good to see. Like I spoke to the girls that were here as well, and they gave me an insight onto what it was like, and it was just a gut decision, to be honest. I knew, and then I was just speaking to my coaches, so I was open to speak to everyone, but it was just the right decision for me.
Nice. And I guess you're studying aeronautical science?
No, I was studying human factor psychology. So psychology was something that I'd always wanted to go into, and it's really interesting.
Okay, very interesting. So you get to America. I want to understand like how the first few days were for you.
Yeah.
How you went during this period of COVID?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it was a different. This whole semester for me has been a different experience to the past people that have come. So it was, what was it? So I had to get it was kind of crazy, to be honest, because the embassy, there was so many like holes I had to get through. Like the embassy was shut because of COVID, and it was hard to get my visa. But then as soon as I got my visa, I left England within a week of getting my visa. So I obviously got on the plane, got all the way here, and for the first 2 days, I flew out with a girl called Hattie, and we're both from England, and we stayed at our friend's apartment. So obviously jet lag and stuff, we were super tired, but we still went there. We had tacos, and made us food, and everyone was so welcoming. It was like going from family to a family, honestly. I don't tell my parents, but like I've not really missed home that much since I've been here, because everyone's been so welcoming. There's so many internationals here, so you just feel like you feel normal that you are here. And we got up the next day, we trained. Well, we watched training because of COVID. We couldn't join in at this point because we were like quarantining as such in our friend's apartment. But it was really lovely. The first week or two, we weren't training. Like the school didn't start yet, so it was kind of a bit of just getting to know everyone that is here and enjoying it, like looking around Daytona Beach. There's amazing things that are here and things to do. So it was just getting to know everyone, and then we went into start school and start training 5 times a week, which was a shock to the system, honestly, but it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it preseason at that point?
Yeah, so we went into pre-season. However, we knew that we wasn't going to have a season. Season usually starts in the fall, well, in September. So it was 2 weeks of pre-season, but it was more getting us fit and doing all the fitness tests and stuff so that we were ready to then start the semester and start there. So, but it was good.
Have you been playing conference games, or there's just been no games at all?
No, so we haven't had any conference games in the fall. We still haven't got any in the spring either, which is a shame. But we're just going to train now and get fit and get ready for the season next year and in the fall. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready for a game. I'm ready to play. It's good.
Yeah, I really hope that it works out, and I hope the COVID thing goes away. I'm sure it will. I'm hoping and praying that we're over the worst of it.
Yeah, I hope so too.
So yeah, so I guess we'll just wait and see. How is the level in terms of the kinds of players you're exposed to there? You said there were a lot of international players. Where are they coming from? What's the level like?
Yeah, so we've got internationals from all over. We've got Sweden, Norway, we've got Guatemala, got England, we had a girl from Italy, and the level's really good. So the level I think is higher than what I was playing back home. That could be due to the fact that we're training all the time. I've seen a massive improvement in myself. Training every day, you can't help but improve. So it's really good. We lost a girl. She went to play in Italy professionally, Sophie Brundin. I have a friend called Julia, and she's looking to also play professionally in Italy. We've got a girl called Marie who played for the Norway national team, same as a girl called Bella from Sweden. So there's people from all over the place that have come from high level backgrounds. So it's good to be able to play and step up, because I didn't want to come into a place where, you know, you're the best player or you're their star player. I wanted to come into a place where there's top girls, and I just wanted to make my way. I want to make my way up, and then one day I'll be able to, in the 4 years, I'll be ready to go and play professionally. So,
yeah, and is that the objective for you, is to play professionally?
Yeah, definitely. Wherever it is, whether I go back to England and I play, whether I maybe go somewhere in Europe, maybe Spain, maybe Italy. I want to use these 4 years to my advantage, because I know that there's people, like I say, back home who aren't be able to train 5 days a week. So I can really dedicate my time to playing football and hopefully go down to play professionally.
Oh, so thank you. Let me just say thank you, first of all, for sharing that story.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's really interesting to hear something very different. You know, everybody's story is different and everybody's journey is different. So it's really interesting to see how somebody who grew up in a place that I don't even know, and how they got to, you know, where they are now. So thank you for sharing that.